If you know that the spiritual weight you carry was never understood by your own blood, do not say anything yet. Just hold that thought. Today, the seal of that heritage is finally being broken. You are not the black sheep of the family. You are the spiritual gatekeeper of your bloodline. The heritage you carry is heavy because it is real. The seal is open. The mantle is yours. Have you ever sat at your own family table feeling like a complete stranger? Do you carry an unexplainable spiritual burden while being treated as ordinary, crazy, or lesser by those who should know you best? Have you ever shed silent tears behind closed doors because of the agonizing pain of being misunderstood by your own blood? Are you terrified of passing down this same spiritual isolation and brokenness to your children? I know exactly how this feels. I also searched for this answer, and look what I found. Why does the enemy use the familiar blindness of your own family to attack the spiritual mantle you were born to carry? You will find the exact revelation inside the digital book called The 7 Spiritual Reasons Why the Chosen Face So Much Envy. Because envy operates through proximity blindness, using your family's inability to see your spiritual heritage to isolate you, so you drop the mantle before the seal opens. I have placed the link to this digital book pinned in the first comment and in the video description. Go there now, secure your digital book, and understand why sitting at family tables feeling like a complete stranger is actually a marker of your calling. But do not go just yet. Because if you do not take your rightful place as the gatekeeper and claim this heritage today, your lineage will remain spiritually blind. So stay with me until the end of this video, because I will show you exactly how to stop this spiritual isolation from destroying the future of your children. Listen to me closely. For the next 3 minutes, I am decreeing a protective seal over your mind and your spirit, because the revelation that is about to come will shake the foundation of everything you thought you knew about your family's dynamic. You have spent years enduring the agonizing pain of being misunderstood by your own blood. You sit at family tables, feeling like a complete stranger, carrying a massive, unseen mantle, only to be treated as ordinary or crazy. You thought there was something wrong with you. You thought this isolation was your fault. But I am here as a prophetic sentinel to tell you that the spiritual realm clearly sees the heavy, invisible crown on your head. That silent warfare you face is the ultimate proof of your spiritual DNA. Before we continue, I want to make a very humble request. Maintaining this channel and bringing these daily revelations requires a lot of dedication and resources. If this message is touching your heart and you feel guided by God to support this ministry, you can make a voluntary donation of any amount through the Super Thanks button right below this video. It is a simple gesture, but it helps us tremendously to keep this prophetic voice active. If you cannot do it right now, that is completely fine. What matters most is that you receive this word. I will wait for you there. Now, let's return to the revelation. The enemy wants you to leave this video right now. He wants you to close this screen, go back to your day, and continue carrying this heavy crown in silence. He knows that if you stay, the seal of this generational inheritance will be permanently open today, and the familiar blindness he used to isolate you will lose its power forever. Do not let him win. Anchor your feet to the ground, open your spiritual ears, and listen to what the Lord is about to reveal. Close your eyes for just a second, or at least look away from the screen right now. I need you to focus entirely on the sound of my voice. Clear your mind of the noise around you, because what I am about to speak will test the very core of your spirit. I am going to describe 5 highly specific things to you. Listen carefully. If I am right about at least 3 of them, you and I will both know exactly why God brought you to this video today. First, you have spent the last few months feeling a strange, heavy exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. It hits you hardest late at night, when the house is quiet and you are left alone with your thoughts. You wake up physically drained, feeling as though you have been fighting an invisible war in your dreams, carrying a weight you cannot explain to anyone. This is not medical fatigue or natural stress. This is the physical manifestation of your spiritual mantle growing heavier as the time for the seal to open approaches. Second, you constantly experience sudden moments of intense, unprovoked spiritual intuition about the people around you. You can walk into a room and immediately feel the unspoken intentions, the hidden envy, or the silent judgments of those smiling at you. This hyper-awareness often makes you want to retreat into isolation, because the emotional toll of seeing what others cannot is overwhelming. You thought you were just overly sensitive, but this is your prophetic radar functioning exactly as it was designed, protecting the heritage you carry. Third, there is a specific, agonizing pain you feel when sitting at the table with your own blood relatives. Over the last few years, you have realized that no matter how much you love them or what you do for them, they look at you and only see your human flaws. They mock your depth, dismiss your calling, and treat you like a complete stranger in your own home. The silent tears you shed after these family gatherings are not just sorrow. They are the spiritual grief of a gatekeeper surrounded by familiar blindness, and about the spiritual exhaustion of constantly having to justify your calling to people who are committed to misunderstanding you that you recognized right now. The complete revelation is waiting for you in the pinned comment. The digital book is your answer. Go there and secure your copy. Fourth, you have recently felt a terrifying urge to shrink yourself, to dim your own light, and to completely walk away from your spiritual birthright just to keep the peace. You have actually caught yourself apologizing for the grace upon your life, trying to blend in with the ordinary so the attacks will stop. You thought this was a noble sacrifice for the sake of harmony, but it is actually the enemy using the envy of those closest to you to force you into spiritual abdication before your time arrives. Fifth, there is a deep, paralyzing dread that grips your heart when you look at your children or think about your future lineage. You are terrified that if you do not figure out how to break this cycle of isolation and misunderstanding, you will pass down this same brokenness to them. You feel an urgent burning deadline in your spirit, a knowing that if you do not take your rightful place as the spiritual gatekeeper right now, the generations coming after you will remain entirely spiritually blind. Now take a second and breathe. How many of those 5 things hit the mark? 3, 4, all 5 of them? If at least 3 of these signs resonated with your spirit, then you already know that this message is speaking directly to you. This is not a coincidence, and it is certainly not a generic algorithm. This is the spiritual realm tracking you down to confirm what you have always suspected. But I am not just here to diagnose your pain. I am here to show you how to survive it. The familiar blindness that has been tearing you apart is about to be exposed, and the coverage of Psalm 91 is about to be activated over your life in a way you have never experienced. You are about to understand why the envy had to come from those closest to you, and how it was secretly working to prepare your crown. The enemy desperately wants you to drop your mantle and walk away from this screen before the revelation is fully delivered. He thrives on your isolation, using the familiar blindness of your own household to make you feel completely alone in this warfare. But the seal of your heritage is breaking today. You are not going crazy, and you are not the black sheep. You are the spiritual gatekeeper, and the heavy crown you wear is finally moving from hidden preparation to public manifestation. Before I show you the instrument of coverage that will shield your spiritual mantle from the envy and sabotage of your own bloodline, I need to give you the name of what you carry, because the shield only makes sense after you know the exact name of the target. And there is a word in Hebrew that defines exactly this spiritual territory permanently assigned to your name. A word that recontextualizes everything I just described to you in the last few minutes. There is a word in the original Hebrew that changes everything you thought you knew. Before we continue, I want to make a very humble request. Maintaining this channel and bringing these daily revelations requires a lot of dedication and resources. If this message is touching your heart and you feel guided by God to support this ministry, you can make a voluntary donation of any amount through the Super Thanks button right below this video. It is a simple gesture, but it helps us tremendously to keep this prophetic voice active. If you cannot do it right now, that is completely fine. What matters most is that you receive this word. I will wait for you there again. Now, let's return to the revelation. Let me take you back thousands of years to a young man who carried the exact same unexplainable burden while sitting at his own family table. His name was Joseph of Egypt. He was not just a boy walking around with a colorful coat. He was the chosen carrier of a massive prophetic heritage. He had dreams that outlined a divine decree, a spiritual blueprint of what God was about to do. But look closely at what happened in his own home. His own brothers, his own bloodline, could not comprehend the spiritual mantle he was wearing. They looked at him and only saw an annoying younger brother, someone they could easily dismiss and mock. Their intense, violent envy was not triggered by the physical fabric of a coat. It was a severe spiritual reaction to the invisible mantle resting heavily upon his shoulders. This is the exact same mechanism of envy operating in your life right now. Envy operates through proximity blindness. Your family does not see your spiritual heritage because they only look at your human flaws and your past. They remember who you were when you were a child. They look at the dirt on your hands and insist on treating you as ordinary, but they are completely blind to what the spiritual realm clearly sees: the heavy, invisible crown on your head. You are like an heir to a massive kingdom who was raised among commoners. The enemy uses this familiar blindness to make you feel like an outcast in your own bloodline, isolating you so you will simply drop the mantle before the seal opens. There is a profound spiritual protocol at play here, hidden deeply in the ancient scriptures. To understand what is truly happening at your family table, you need to understand the Hebrew word nachalah, nahala. This word does not just mean a generic earthly inheritance. Nachalah is a spiritual territory, a portion permanently and irrevocably assigned to you by God Himself. It is not something you earn with hard work, and it is certainly not something you can negotiate with your relatives. It is given to you by divine decree. When Joseph's brothers threw him into that dark pit and sold him into slavery, they were not just trying to get rid of a sibling. The envious one was using the people closest to him to dispute his nachalah. The enemy was trying to force Joseph to abandon the spiritual territory God had legally assigned to his name. This is exactly why you have been experiencing the spiritual exhaustion of constantly having to justify your calling to people who are entirely committed to misunderstanding you. The enemy sends this envy through the people you love most to convince you to take off the crown simply because it is too heavy to wear around people who insist on seeing you as lesser. This is why you feel that dangerous urge to shrink yourself, to dim your light, and to walk away from your spiritual birthright just to keep the peace and be accepted. But here is the secret key that changes absolutely everything. Their blindness was actually your divine protection. If your family had seen the true, terrifying weight of your spiritual heritage early on, the envy would have destroyed you before you were fully ready. The enemy wanted to crush you in the pit, but God was using the pit as a hidden greenhouse for your nachalah. Joseph had to endure the agonizing betrayal of his own bloodline to fully step into the heritage that would eventually save them all. And now, it is your turn. The time of hidden preparation is over. The seal opening today means your heritage is moving from hidden preparation to public manifestation. If you do not seal and protect your heritage right now, the familiar envy will escalate into direct spiritual sabotage to steal your crown. Even worse, if you step away from your nachalah now, you will pass down this exact same spiritual isolation and brokenness to your children. You cannot allow your lineage to remain spiritually blind. You are not the black sheep of the family. You are the spiritual gatekeeper of your bloodline. The heritage you carry is heavy because it is real. The seal is open, and the mantle is yours. Have you ever stopped to realize that their blindness was actually your divine protection? If your family had seen the true weight of your spiritual heritage early on, the envy would have destroyed you before you were ready to carry it. God had to hide your invisible crown in plain sight to keep you safe from the very people who share your bloodline. But listen to me carefully. The seal opening today means your heritage is moving from hidden preparation to public manifestation. This is the exact moment when your silent warfare meets divine exposure. If you do not seal and protect your heritage right now, the familiar envy will escalate into direct spiritual sabotage designed to steal your crown. To understand exactly how to shield your mantle during this dangerous transition, the complete revelation is waiting for you inside the digital book called The 7 Spiritual Reasons Why the Chosen Face So Much Envy. Do not let the envious one use those closest to you to dispute your nachalah, the spiritual territory God has legally assigned to your name. I have placed the link to this digital book pinned in the first comment and in the video description. Go there right now, secure your digital book, and take your rightful place as the spiritual gatekeeper of your family. There is a profound mystery hidden in the ancient scriptures that perfectly describes the spiritual warfare you are facing inside your own home. In biblical Hebrew, the word for what you carry is nachala. It does not just mean a generic blessing, it means a permanent inheritance, a specific spiritual territory legally assigned to your name by divine decree. You cannot earn a nachala with hard work, and you cannot lose it because of your human flaws. It is a portion permanently given to you by God. But here is what you must understand right now. The enemy cannot simply reach into the spiritual realm and take your nachala from you. He has to convince you to hand it over. And the most devastating way he does this is by using the people you love most to dispute it. He uses their familiar blindness to make you feel like an outcast in your own bloodline, hoping you will become so exhausted that you abandon the territory God has legally assigned to your name. When you realize that envy operates through proximity blindness, causing your family to only look at your past to invalidate your unseen mantle. When you see the enemy using this familiar blindness to isolate you, desperately trying to make you drop the mantle before the seal opens, when you understand that if you do not seal and protect your heritage right now, this familiar envy will escalate into direct spiritual sabotage to steal your crown. You will finally see that your pain is not a psychological flaw, but a spiritual marker of your calling. To ignore this reality now is to surrender your generational inheritance to the envious one without a fight. The complete revelation about how to break this cycle and defend your nachala is waiting for you inside the digital book called The 7 Spiritual Reasons Why the Chosen Face So Much Envy. I have placed the link to this digital book pinned in the first comment and in the video description. Go there right now, secure your digital book, and claim the spiritual territory God has assigned to your name. The exact spiritual territory the enemy is trying to tear away from your hands. There is an ancient Hebrew word that perfectly defines the profound weight of what you carry. That word is nachala. Listen to the power of that word, nachala. In the original scriptures, it does not mean a reward you earn with hard work or human effort. It means an inheritance, a specific spiritual portion permanently assigned to you by the decree of God Himself. And this is the revelation that changes everything. The envious one uses those closest to you to dispute your nachala. He uses their familiar blindness to make you feel like a complete outcast in your own bloodline, desperately trying to make you abandon the territory God has legally assigned to your name. You are exactly like an heir to a massive kingdom who was raised among commoners. Your family only looks at the dirt on your hands and remembers your past, but the spiritual realm clearly sees the heavy, invisible crown on your head. The enemy sends envy through the people you love most to convince you to take off that crown, simply because it is too heavy to wear around people who insist on seeing you as ordinary. Look at the life of Joseph of Egypt. He carried a prophetic heritage that his own brothers could never comprehend. Their intense envy was triggered by his spiritual mantle, not just a physical coat of many colors. He had to endure the betrayal and the agonizing misunderstanding of his own bloodline to fully step into the nachala that would eventually save them all. You need to realize right now that their blindness was actually your divine protection. If they had seen the true weight of your spiritual heritage early on, the envy would have destroyed you before you were ready. But the seal is opening today. Your heritage is moving from hidden preparation to public manifestation. This is the exact moment of transition where hidden preparation meets divine exposure. If you do not seal and protect your heritage right now, the familiar envy will escalate into direct spiritual sabotage to steal your crown. The deep fear you feel of passing down this same spiritual isolation and brokenness to your children is a prophetic warning. If you do not take your rightful place as the gatekeeper and claim this heritage today, your lineage will remain spiritually blind. Do not shrink yourself anymore. Do not dim your light to keep the peace at a table where you are not truly seen. The mantle is yours, and the territory of your nachala is secured. In our next video, I will expose exactly what happens in the spiritual realm the moment the envious one realizes your seal has finally been opened and how to protect your home from the backlash. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you do not miss this urgent warning. Before we continue, I want to make a very humble request. Maintaining this channel and bringing these daily revelations requires a lot of dedication and resources. If this message is touching your heart and you feel guided by God to support this ministry, you can make a voluntary donation of any amount through the Super Thanks button right below this video. It is a simple gesture, but it helps us tremendously to keep this prophetic voice active. If you cannot do it right now, that is completely fine. What matters most is that you receive this word. This was my last request. I will wait for you there. I saw every time you sat at that family table feeling completely invisible. I heard the silent tears you cried in your room when the burden of your spiritual DNA felt too heavy to carry alone. I watched as the familiar blindness of your own bloodline almost made you surrender the mantle I placed upon your life. And it was exactly to make sure you would never have to go through this alone again that I prepared the digital book called The 7 Spiritual Reasons Why the Chosen Face So Much Envy. Inside this digital book, you will receive the exact spiritual protocol to break this cycle of isolation. You will understand how to secure your Nachala, protect your prophetic inheritance, and ensure that your children will never inherit this generational blindness. You can access all this revelation right now for less than the cost of a Sunday family lunch where you sit feeling completely alone. It is less than a useless streaming subscription you pay for just to escape the heavy reality of your unexplainable spiritual burden. The link to secure your digital book is pinned right now in the first comment and also in the video description. You need to act, because if you do not seal and protect your heritage right now, the familiar envy will escalate into direct spiritual sabotage to steal your crown, using their proximity to isolate you, so you drop the mantle before the seal fully opens. Go to the pinned comment, tap the link, and claim your spiritual territory. I am waiting for you inside the digital book. Come, you who have carried this heavy crown in silence. You who have been treated as a stranger in your own bloodline, it is time to take your rightful place as the gatekeeper.